What's up, deal family? And we're back once again with another banger. And today we are going to be watching Visco toys. The title of this is Figures Have Come a Long Way Since 1999. Let's watch it. 10 minutes, 50 minutes long. 10 minutes and 50 seconds long.
I was 9 years old when I got my hands on this Goku action figure. I walked up to the register at KB Toys, slapped a $10 bill on the counter, and thought I had bought the perfect Goku action figure. But I was wrong. Nearly 25 years later, a new Super Saiyan Goku action figure has ascended to a level none of us ever could have imagined. More on him later. First, let's take a look at this Series 1 Irwin Toys The Saga Continues Super Saiyan Goku action figure. Now, this is actually the copy of Super Saiyan Goku that I had as a kid. I held on to it for all these years because it meant so much to me as a child. True story, I actually used to make my little brother wash his hands every time he wanted to play with this. I'm sorry, Brendan. He did originally come with a shirt accessory that was a snap-on shirt, which was kind of the key feature of this toy line, but that is long gone from my possession. This has a 1996 timestamp on his back, but seeing as Dragon Ball Z didn't premiere on Cartoon Network's Toonami until about 1998, and I wouldn't have seen it until 1999, I definitely did not buy this in 1996. Fun fact about this toy line, even though these were Irwin toys, they were actually re-releases of Bandai figures that were released in Japan before Dragon Ball Z was on air in the United States. It wasn't until 1999 that Irwin Toys actually started to produce its own original Dragon Ball Z line, which had a different look and feel to the figures as well as some different accessories and other enhancements. I used to have a ton of these figures as a kid, but unfortunately I only have this Super Saiyan Goku and this Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Series 6 of Irwin Toys left in my collection. Irwin did start to include little Dragon Balls after Series 3, and I did somehow manage to hang on to one of these. As you can see, the articulation on this figure is incredibly limited. I think we have 1, 2, 3 with the boot swivel, 4. 4 points of articulation on this. Yikes. The face sculpt is also kind of horrendous on this. Goku, is that you? As a kid, I really didn't see any problems with this Goku action figure. I was just really happy to have my favorite character in action figure form, but he does leave a lot to be desired in terms of today's standards. But not to worry, 2023 saw SH Figuarts create what many are considering the greatest Super Saiyan Goku action figure ever made. This figure depicts a very specific version of Goku, which is the ultra-powered up Super Saiyan Goku that ultimately defeats Frieza on planet Namek. In my opinion, this is hands down the best version of Goku in the entire franchise, and the Namek Saga is the best arc in the entire series. So when I found out that they were going to make this Goku, and then subsequently found out they were going to make the 100% powered up Frieza, I lost my mind. In fact, I was so excited that I actually purchased 2 of these, which I almost never do in action figure purchases, and I did it for insurance reasons. So I'm going to open one and then leave the other one in case anything happens to this one. And now it's finally time to open this thing up. Oh man, this is awesome. There's honestly nothing quite like opening one of these for the first time and just releasing this thing from the plastic and getting to actually hold it in your hands. Oh man, this is awesome. There he is. Super Saiyan Goku. Oh, wow. The first thing we have to do is kind of remove this little plastic piece that we have here that comes on a lot of the SH Figuarts figures. But this, in your hand, like, I don't know, this feels... Sometimes you get an SH Figuarts, you know, action figure, and they feel a little bit light. This one feels pretty solid to me. And just love all the awesome details on this guy. And here he is right out of the box next to his counterpart, the Irwin Toys figure, and it's really not even fair to compare them. I mean, this is 25 years of advancement represented right here in this frame, which is something I'm incredibly grateful for. And without this, we would not have this. And so he comes with a bunch of stuff. He has a completely different hair sculpt, which I think is his powered up, where he's powering up and he has no bangs in his face. He also has this other one that has like the single bangs, which is really a great thing to have for this Goku. And then he has 1, 2, 3 face sculpts and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of hands. Something that is going to be new for me is actually this Kamehameha effect. I have a bunch of SH Figuarts action figures, but I don't have any of these yet. So I'm excited to figure out how to peg these things in and use this. It looks like each one has like a coinciding peg, so might not be able to do this on camera, but this looks really, really cool. And honestly, right out of the box, posing this guy up is something that really seems like it's going to be easy to do. I love the 90s era bulkiness of this Goku. It really coincides with that period of time. I'm also a huge baseball fan, so kind of seeing, you know, that steroid era and seeing the muscularity and stuff in some of the Namek figures, the Goku figure, the Frieza figure that's going to be coming out, kind of just hits with that time period. And really, he's very, very smooth. He's got some really good articulation, I think, and is already my favorite figure that I have from SH Figuarts. So one of my favorite things about this Goku, and you can notice it immediately once you get the package in hand, even before you take the figure out, is just how well they actually captured the facial expressions and the artwork of how they used to draw the faces during this time period of Dragon Ball Z. And that carries over from the stoic face to the teeth gritting face that you see here, to this smirking face, to this absolutely awesome powering up face where I also switched out the hair sculpt piece. And I also wanted to make sure you guys saw the last hair piece, which is just this one single bang piece down in Goku's face. This also looks great. Now, articulation-wise, this guy is a heck of a lot better than the 4 points of articulation we saw in the Irwin Toys figure earlier. And he really can kind of get in any sort of position that you want him to. So a lot of people will talk about the T-pose. He can actually go past that point. He does have double-jointed elbows, which you can see on display here. He's got really good, you know, waist swivel. He has... You can definitely get a good ab crunch. He can look down. A lot of times, especially with the chest the way that it is, if you want to have him kind of look really imposing, you can have him look down and he really looks cool. You can do all of the Goku poses that you might want to do with this guy, and I think you're going to be very satisfied, especially if you're somebody who has dioramas. I am a diorama maker, if you haven't seen my videos before, and I also sell backdrops. So for me, putting this Goku figure in this diorama with the backdrop behind it is just absolutely perfect from a figure photography standpoint or even just a display standpoint. And just to make sure you guys get a thorough look at this guy, I mean, he can even do really cool crouching poses like this, which some of my SH Figuarts figures really do struggle to do, so I'm glad to see that. 1 point just out of the box, he has
When it's hot as hell and humid as hell,
these ankle joints that allow you to kind of push them back and then down, which allow you to bypass these shoelaces, which are otherwise kind of unwieldy or difficult when you first take them out of the package. You might think you're not going to be able to easily stand him, which is what I kind of originally thought, but that's not the case. As long as you manipulate the angle properly on the ankle, you'll be just fine. And here's just a really simple example of a vanilla pose where he's not doing anything with the diorama and the backdrop behind it, and this just looks awesome to me. So much fun and really not very much effort at all. If you do want to figure out how to make a Namek diorama like the one you see behind him, the rock formation, I have a video on my channel that you should totally check out. As you can see from this video, action figures have come a really long way from 1999 to 2023. But even though there's a vast improvement from this figure to this figure, I'm really grateful to have both of these. I mean, this one right here was a huge part of my childhood. This was my favorite action figure that I had as a kid, and now it's just awesome to be able to get an action figure like this almost 25 years later and enjoy these both in my collection. If you're someone who enjoys Dragon Ball Z or Goku, I would highly suggest picking up this action figure. It's a regular release, which if you don't know, Bandai has different kinds of releases. They have regular releases, which are available at all different kinds of retailers, like Big Bad Toy Store, where I got this figure. And then they have some premium Bandai figures, which are a lot harder to get. You have to pre-order. This is not the case with this Goku figure. So if you're watching this video shortly after I release it, you can definitely still get this at the retail price. I'd really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you do want to watch more, here's a video just for you.
Visco Toys. Action figure dioramas.
Back in 2015, and in my opinion, it's starting to look a little bit dated, especially the head sculpt. It also uses the old 2.0 body, not the new and improved 3.0 body on the super bulky, legendary Super Saiyan Goku. And like I said, I want a version of Goku that has the full undershirt on it. That's where this Air Studios Dragon Ball Z accessory kit comes in. I purchased this on AliExpress for just under $27 shipped. I'm not exactly sure what this is made of. It's some kind of rubbery material that is like a harder kind of material, and it's going to be form fitted to the Goku figure, so that means that it's going to restrict his ab articulation. And from what I understand, it's not exactly the easiest thing to get onto the figure. Because of that, I'm going to unbox my second copy of the legendary Super Saiyan figure, which I had planned to keep in the box, and have that serve as my modified Goku. Unfortunately, the accessory kit does not come with any instructions. It arrived from AliExpress like this in a plastic bag. But the original listing that I used to purchase this kit did have some loose steps laid out. So I'm going to try to figure this out based on that. To make sure that I don't break this thing, I'm going to be heating it up with my wife's hairdryer as I disassemble it. This is her backup hairdryer. I'm no fool. I already did an extended unboxing of this figure in another video, which you can watch on my channel.
Choose carefully, attack with all your might, and take the win.
We about to level up.
Now, once this Goku was free from his plastic prison, I got him set up for the modifications. The first thing to do was pop the head off of the figure, which really didn't take all that much effort and didn't require any heat. But to be safe, I applied some heat to the torso before popping it off of the legs. I made sure to be as careful as possible doing this part. I turned back to the hairdryer for the right arm, heating that up as best I could before going ahead and popping that off. Then I did the same exact thing on the left side, being careful as well on this side. The shirt for this is pretty rigid, so in order to loosen it up, I applied some heat with the hairdryer and then tried to finagle it as best as I could onto the torso piece. I have to say, this took some doing. It honestly wasn't the easiest process for somebody with very little experience doing figure modifications as basic as even this. One of the most frustrating parts of this process was trying to add the torn shirt to the actual undershirt piece. You can't see them in the shop, but there's these little tabs that you're supposed to line up on this and the other piece that I'm adding now, which is the actual belt. I actually got a little frustrated with this, and that caused me to forget to add the front piece of the belt before popping the figure back into place. Speaking of frustration, it's time to add the arms back onto the figure, and I start out by heating this up so that I have the pegs ready to go. The first arm went in like a dream, but the second arm was a serious problem for me. The shirt sleeve kind of obstructs the joint and makes it really hard to get this in there cleanly. So I used a clay sculpting tool to try to manipulate the joint in the right position so I could pop it back into place. Both of these are the original US release of this Goku figure. The one that had a different color skin tone on the torso than the rest of the body, which never really bothered me, but if it did bother you, then this shirt accessory will fix that problem. Now that the body's done, let's move on to the custom head sculpt, which is made by a company called Recustom. I ordered this legendary breakthrough set on Omnime store for about $46 shipped. I really like the head sculpt on the stock legendary Super Saiyan Goku, and I honestly didn't expect to want any custom heads for this figure. But then I saw this. I always loved the pale yellow, almost white hair color that Goku had during this fight in the anime. I think this set captures that look perfectly, so I had to grab one. This set comes in some very nice professional packaging, and it even comes with this fitted plastic, which is a nice touch to keep this secure during shipments. The face plates included in this are epic. The only complaint I have is that I wish we had a yelling face in this set to go with this Goku. Let's go ahead and put the new head sculpt on this Goku. So what I'm gonna do is take out, they have the hair piece like this, and then there's bangs and different faceplates. I'm just going to use the stoic faceplate just to start out. So peg that in first, and just in case you're wondering, this has a different peg mechanism than the stock SH Figuart, so unfortunately I wouldn't be able to put the faceplates from one onto the other, and it wouldn't actually make sense anyway because the eyebrows are different colors than the hair, so that really wouldn't look right. But after you put the faceplate on like this, then you're going to take the bangs piece and plug it in to the rest of the hair. Be careful with this hair. These are sharp. So if you hit them the wrong way, they kind of hurt. So there's our new Goku faceplate, our new Goku head that we're going to put on the figure. So it comes with this little neck peg that seems way too small to fit on the stock neck. But I think if you heat it up, it pops on, because if you try to just take the regular head and put it on there, it will sit on there, but it doesn't actually pop in. And I want to make sure that it doesn't fall off when I'm using it. So I think I do have to use that neck peg. I think you're supposed to glue it. I'm not going to glue it, but I understand that once this goes in there, you actually really need to heat it up nicely in order for it to fit on the neck peg. Okay, let's see if I'm right. Otherwise, I'm going to have to figure out how to fish this out because it's in here really tight now. Okay, I didn't hear any popping or clicking in, but it appears that I've successfully put the new head sculpt on the Goku. And man, this looks awesome to me. I can't believe it.
Oh, you better square up. Goku got the best gut punch. No way.
Now that the upgrades are in place, let's talk about if this was worth it. You know, from a nostalgia or emotional standpoint, this was 100% worth it to me, because I've always wanted this version of Goku in action figure form, and now I have it. But from a cost standpoint, I feel a bit different. The original figure cost about $65 retail. The head sculpt was $46, and the shirt kit was $27. That means the upgrades cost more than the original figure at $73 combined, which takes my modified Goku from a $65 figure to a $138 figure that now has limited mobility because of the way the shirt restricts the ab crunch. So as cool as this is, and I think it's very cool, it's just hard to justify the extra cost. especially when the stock figure is so good on its own. This is actually why I'm pretty selective about when I upgrade an action figure with something like a custom head sculpt. In fact, I've only done this 3 times, and 2 of them were for Gokus. The one in this video, and this windy hair Super Saiyan Goku. But if this is something that you want to do for nostalgia reasons like I did,
Wait a minute,
you've
what?
got tons
Hey, did he do this before? Hold on, y'all, my bad.
of options. It feels like there's more companies and individual creators than ever making custom pieces for Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts, and that's really exciting. So what do you think? Would you do this same upgrade? Are there other upgrades that you've done for your Dragon Ball Z figures that you highly recommend? Put them in the comments so that I can check them out and anyone watching this video knows the options that they have on the marketplace. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can see more epic action figure and diorama content.
The next one we're gonna do Vegeta. No cap. No cap, we doing Vegeta. Alright. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, comment, do everything. And the next video, we are going to do Vegeta. See y'all later.